Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to talk about the potential that Battlefield 6's classes are a complete balance nightmare. I'm well aware that I'm basing my opinion on this off of leaks, and I'm well aware that even if these do turn out to be true, that they could easily be changed in very significant ways before we get to play the full release version of Battlefield 6. But as of right now, I'm going to just talk about the information we have to go off of. I'm a little hesitant to actually show you these graphics that I will show you in this video, just because I've been hearing rumors that some content creators are receiving copyright strikes for the content they show in their Battlefield 6 leaks videos. But I feel as though if I don't show these, it's just a lot harder to get some of the discussion points across. So let's jump into things. I'm going to go very in-depth into each and every single one of these classes and why I think they're currently balanced nightmares if this is how they really are. If you enjoy the content, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you want to follow more Battlefield 6 related news. I'll start with the Assault class, and we're just going to be going through this group by group. Allegedly, based off of the leaks that have been posted, the classes appear to be able to equip two different gadgets in Battlefield 6. If we take a look at the Assault class here, look at the gadgets the Assault class has available to it. The class gadget is the Adrenaline Injector, which is more than likely the same thing featured in Battlefield 2042's Assault class that allows the Assault class to heal itself, although they can only carry a finite amount of these. For the actual gadget themselves, assuming you can equip two of these, just take a look, right? First of all, where's the variety? It's just a bunch of grenade launchers. And then you can equip two grenade launchers at a certain time, or you could even equip a flame round shotgun, which just sounds incredibly irritating to play against, on top of a high explosive launcher, or perhaps an anti-vehicle grenade launcher, or even a blast grenade launcher. I'm not entirely sure what that would mean, but I think we can safely assume that nobody's really going to be equipping the breaching projectile launcher most of the time, considering that sounds like a very niche option. So right then and there, it just sounds like the Assault class already could have some potential explosive spam problems, but that's before we even get into the throwable section of this. Just a ton of different grenades: frag grenade, smoke grenade, incendiary grenade, and then we get to contact grenade, which is very obviously the impact grenade. Impact grenades, in my opinion, should never be in really any video game. I don't think you can really properly balance them, because they either do too much damage, and because it's an impact grenade, you have no time to react and actually avoid dying to it, and then if they do too little damage, it's just like you're throwing a snowball at them, and then they don't die at all, and you only have one, so it just ends up being worthless. Going down the line a bit to talk about stun grenades, if these stun grenades work like Call of Duty stun grenades, meaning that if you throw it at somebody, it actually reduces their movement speed and essentially ties them to the ground, keeps them in place, I think these stun grenades could be an absolute catastrophe in Battlefield 6. Imagine you are trying to fight in this game, and you just throw a single stun grenade into a room of 10 people, and none of those 10 people can actually move for a few seconds after being hit by it. It sounds nightmarish. And that's only if a single person throws a stun grenade. Imagine if everyone finds out that stun grenades are really overpowered or just generally extremely effective, and then you have 6, 7, 8 stun grenades flying in a room, alongside flashbang grenades, which are notoriously very buggy in games. I think the best execution is undoubtedly Counter-Strike. In terms of flashbangs that are in Battlefield games, I think we all remember they were in Battlefield 4, and the big problem with the flash grenades in Battlefield 4 is it would still blind you even if you're not looking at it. So again, it just sounds to me like if this is the real Assault class, if these alleged, leaks are actually real, it sounds like this class is going to be a bit of a spammy nightmare, and we haven't even gotten to the field specializations yet. If you look on the right side of your screen, on the frontline field specialization tree, that one is fairly straightforward. It just seems like a Grenadier/explosive resistance perk set, which is completely fine. The main standout is the Commando perk tree. Number 1, reveal nearby enemy gadgets, negate movement speed penalty while firing, and switch weapons faster. Let's go through this part by part. Number 1, this is just the level 1 perk, so you get all of those incredibly powerful abilities right from the get-go. Reveal nearby enemy gadgets. What does reveal mean? Can you see them through walls, or are they spotted on the minimap automatically? And this isn't the only time I'm going to be asking questions about the word reveal and what that could mean. Just wait until we get to the Recon class. Level 2 is additional stims, carry additional med pens. Level 3 is adrenaline, faster health regeneration. And level 4 seems to be a temporary ability sort of power-up thing, which makes me assume this will have a cooldown. Use an enhanced combat stimulant that can, again, reveal enemies in addition to the usual effects. Kills prolong the duration. So again, the word of reveal. What does reveal mean? Is it just wall hacks? Or is it minimap spotting? What could this potentially mean? But the commando perk tree sounds incredibly strong, and the assault class in general just sounds like it's very spammy, has a ton of survivability, and sounds like a one-man army class. Moving to the engineer class, this further emphasizes my concerns for the classes of Battlefield 6, because if you take a look at the gadgets, it has everything you would expect from an engineer, right? Mines, it has AA launchers, it has an RPG, javelin, but then you get to motion sensor. The engineer class has a way to spot people now, and if you notice, the assault class, which generally speaking doesn't have a way to spot people, had a bunch of perks that labeled reveal, right? Reveal all over the place. So not only does the assault class probably have some way to spot people now, so does the engineer. So it begs the question, how big of a problem is spotting going to be in the next Battlefield game? That question will be answered more thoroughly once, again, we get to the recon class, which I think is a real doozy. The throwables for the engineer class are very basic, but then we get to the field specializations. In the anti-vehicle perk tree, if you look at the 4th perk, deploy a suicide drone capable of disrupting vehicles upon detonation. I can only assume this is some form of EMP, maybe it enables some sort of mobility hit like from Battlefield 4. But one thing is very clear from how some of these level 4 perks are worded. Some of these level 4 perks are going to be additional cooldowns you can use, such as the suicide drone, such as the adrenaline injector from the assault class. Overall, the anti-vehicle tree for the engineer class doesn't seem that insane, but when you look at the mechanic field specialization tree, there's some really strong stuff in here. Just the first perk alone is insane. Mechanic tree, slower heat buildup on vehicle weapons and repair tool. That alone is insane, but then you have the additional attributes of vehicles you occupy take longer to lock onto, and you automatically spot nearby mines, which begs the question, can you even use mines in Battlefield 6? Because make no mistake, anyone that is going to plan on playing with their friends in a vehicle, hoping to repair them and support them, they're going to be running the mechanic tree, which means mines are just simply not going to be effective, ever. You will always be able to see them no matter what. Then it gets even crazier, right? Equipment recharge, vehicle equipment recharges faster, very strong. Level 3 is the health of vehicles you occupy is not restricted by health brackets? What does that mean? So can you overheal vehicles? By how much can you overheal vehicles? 10%? 15%? 20%? How much are we talking? Because that right there could shift fights. And imagine you are trying to fight a vehicle team that is using the mechanic field specialization tree, and let's say you aren't. You're at a health disadvantage from the start of the fight. Can you even hope to win that fight anymore? And then the final perk for this mechanic tree is enhance the repair tool while on foot and or to instantly heal the vehicle you occupy. I think there's some translation errors here. I'm not entirely sure who made these screenshots. These are certainly not, DICE official or even from Battlefield 6. I really don't think they are. I think these are compilations made by somebody else, but enhance the repair tool while on foot and or to instantly heal vehicles. Instantly heal vehicle? Like, what does that mean? Are we instantly healing how much percentage HP? Is the ability to instantly heal a certain amount of health in a vehicle a cooldown ability like some of the other level 4 perks? And again, I'm fully aware that this is data mine stuff, these are leaks, this could very well be incorrect, and I also understand there is a ton of time to completely rework every single thing I'm mentioning before they release the next Battlefield game, so a lot of this stuff we might never even see. But if I know DICE and EA, I don't think they plan on reworking much of anything with the classes of their game. I think this stuff was probably decided on a very long time ago, and it's very concerning because some of the stuff I'm reading here poses major balance questions. I'm gonna skip directly to the recon class. The support class in Battlefield 6, based off of the leaks here, just appears to be the weakest out of the 4 classes in the game. There really isn't anything that stands out to me as a major balance problem like some of these other classes. If you want to learn more about the support class, I posted a video yesterday detailing everything about that. I'll link that in the description. But finally, we come to the Scout class, or the Recon class. Probably just going to call it the Recon class because I can't break old habits. I've been teasing throughout the video that this is going to be quite a doozy, so let's take a look at it. Looking at the gadgets, you have some very typical things you would find in recon classes, such as the demolition charge, which I just assume is C4. You have a spawn beacon, and you have the laser designator, which is probably just the PLD or a SOFLAM. But then you have stuff like the recon drone, and I just fundamentally disagree with the design of recon drones, things you can use while camping in complete safety, say in your uncap or your spawn, and you just get so much value for doing nothing, permanently spotting the enemy team. I think if you're going to use a recon drone like this, first of all, it shouldn't be risk-free. You should definitely not be able to control any sort of recon drone from the safety of your spawn. I think there should be at least some risk of you dying. You should only be able to deploy them if you're in the playable combat area. But perhaps one of the most concerning things that I see on here is the class gadget for recon is actually a motion sensor. Yes, the tugs from Battlefield 3 and 4. The tugs wasn't a class gadget in previous games because, well, we didn't have class gadgets, but it's also just an incredibly strong gadget. And having every single recon in the entire server have access to a tugs by default is incredibly concerning for the amount of spotting in the game. As I mentioned before, the tugs is an incredibly powerful gadget, and in my opinion, you should have to sacrifice something in order to use it. You should not have all these other gadgets available to you, like C4 and like a deploy beacon, and then also have the tugs available to you as well. I think it is completely overpowered. And then if you look at the throwable section, you can see that they apparently have a throwable motion sensor, which again, further emphasizes spotting. So I'm just gonna hypothetically create a recon class right now. C4, recon drone, tugs, throwable motion sensor. How much spotting is that in one character? Then we come to the field specializations for the recon class, and some of these are just fundamentally fucking overpowered, straight up. So we get to the Intel perk tree here. Just the first perk alone, the first 3 words, spot by aiming, absolutely broken. That means if you have a recon character and they look at you, you are now spotted. That is messed up. I know not all Battlefield players spot, but it's not a difficult thing to do. You literally hit the Q button while you're aiming down sights at somebody on the keyboard. That's it. Like, I don't think you should be rewarded for just aiming down sights at somebody and getting a free spot. But don't worry, it gets even crazier because spot by aiming is just the first 3 words of the very first perk in this skill tree. The second one is eliminate weapon sway, another very strong attribute. And the last one is gain resistance to spotting. Oh my god! So you're telling me that someone can look at me and they're playing recon and I'm spotted, but they get resistance to spotting? What does resistance to spotting mean? Does it mean that they're spotted for less amount of time, or does it mean they can't be spotted at all? The level 2 perk is just absolutely disgusting as well. Enemies you shoot with bolt action rifles are, quote, revealed and heal slower. So at this point, I'm just going to assume what they mean by revealed is wall hacks, and that is just insanely busted if that's the case. So let's just recap here. This guy aims at me with a bolt action. I'm immediately spotted, he has no weapon sway, and if he hits me in the chest, I'm wall hack spotted and I heal slower, and God forbid he headshots me, which is the next perk. If he headshots me with a bolt action, I can't be revived. And if that wasn't enough, the level 4 perk is call in a mortar support strike where you are aiming. I think the Intel perk tree for the recon class is a disgustingly overpowered perk tree, and it rewards really just shitty gameplay, if I'm being completely honest with you, because you can snipe in the back of the map and do nothing but body shot people and get incredible value. If you aim at people, they're spotted. You have no weapon sway. You can call in mortar strikes. If you body shot somebody, their healing is slowed, and God forbid if you're good at the game and you can headshot multiple people, all those people can't be revived. And that's not it for the recon class. Even in the Pathfinder skill tree, which is slightly worse, you have some incredibly strong perks. Level 1 is hidden from motion sensors except while sprinting, disguise enemy death markers on their minimap, and reveal enemies that spot you. So let me get this straight. Again, assuming reveal means wall hacks, if someone spots me, does that mean they get wall hacked if they spot me? Reveal enemies that spot you. That's what that means, right? If that turns out to be true, absolutely fundamentally broken. Level 2, damage spot. It does exactly what it sounds like it does. If you damage an enemy, they are spotted. Do we have enough spotting? Overall, I think 3 out of the 4 classes in Battlefield 6, based off of what I'm seeing right now, are just balance nightmares, and I don't think, if this turns out to be true, that everything will be fixed with these classes come the release of the game. I think there are some big concerns here regarding the potential spammability of the Assault class, definitely massive concerns when it comes to spotting. How are you going to flank in this game? If a recon player has tugs everywhere, they have a motion sensor grenade, they have a drone they can use to spot you, and even if they look at you, you're spotted, how are you going to flank? You know, how are you going to maintain any sort of stealthiness? And then when it comes to vehicle play, that potential vehicle health overheal perk, how is that going to affect vehicle gameplay? Can you overheal helicopters, right? Can you land a helicopter? Then you can apply the health bonus to that as well? Like, I don't know. It just sounds crazy. And I think a lot of the stuff needs to be changed, or honestly removed. But I suppose we will just have to wait and see what they do with the actual full launch of Battlefield 6. These are leaks, there's a ton of time, things could change, even if these are the true skill trees people are experiencing in Battlefield Labs playtests. You know, hopefully there's some feedback going on in there saying, you know, hey, this stuff's pretty crazy, guys, you should probably dial that back a little bit. So that's going to be about it for this video, ladies and gentlemen. Please let me know your thoughts on this in the comment section down below. If you did enjoy the content, be sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. It really does help the channel and the video out. And of course, swing by the streams. I stream every single day at twitch.tv/enders. And I also multi-stream on this very YouTube channel. Typically go live between about 2 to 5 p.m. EST, that sort of thing. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. In today's